that was probably my first taste of adulthood, because even in college, I don't know if I really felt like an adult, but I would have to say that was a time where I was like, okay, I'm grown. How about you, Leroy? When was there a time in your life where you discovered like, okay, I'm a little grown right now?
I'm going to have to say when I stepped up to the plate and became the man that I had to be to take care of my children, and to take care of them with no support of their biological mother, because that's a responsibility that, of course, when you're in the course of action, you don't think about it. But when a responsibility of another life comes and you cannot, say or make up excuses not to be a father or not to be a man by simply saying, well, the weather's too bad outside, so I'm not going to work.
Right.
You have a responsibility.
Right.
And in that responsibility, there comes, title, there comes position, there comes respect, and all of those types of things. Mm-hmm. And so I would say, at that point when I stepped up and saw that I could do what I did, and the way that I did it, I wouldn't change absolutely nothing. And to be at a place right now where one's 25 and the other one's 26, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, back then, I had a support system, but from an individual standpoint, my resources wasn't even half of what they are now. Mm-hmm. Wasn't even half. Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to school, working, and all that sort of thing, and doing what I needed to do because of the responsibility that I had. And I didn't just have one as a single father. I had two born in the same year. Two. And they weren't boys, they were girls. And so, in that light, my arrival came at that place. Because at some point when responsibility hit you, you either, as they say, you're either going to get on the stoop or you're going to get off of it.
Right, you're going to sink or swim. What you going to do?
Yeah, and I could have chosen, to leave all of it, but I didn't do that. And I'm so glad that, every night when I go to bed, I can go to bed feeling that, one, as a man and as a father, I never made up excuses not to be one. I never did that. I stayed in there for as long as I could stay in there till they got to the place where they, decided that they wanted to, move out and venture life. And so they ventured life through college, whatever the case may be, and still venturing life in that regard. And so, that moment right there, it's been some other moments, but that moment in particular right there, because a man in my mind does not make up excuses. What a man does, in my mind, he stays in expansion mode, always looking for the next best thing, not just for himself, but for his family and for his community.
See, I find that excellent. I find that interesting that men always say what you said, like I could have left, but I didn't. And I stayed. I think a lot of mothers just stay. They don't even talk about I could have left. You know what I mean? Because I think some people think mothers can't leave. And in your case, one did. Oh, yeah. But some people, like I hear fathers say, oh, I could have left. And yeah, a lot of mothers could leave when they're sitting there holding the bag and holding the children and, diaper bag here, lunch here, trying to figure out, how much to make in order to take care of this children and that child. And I think with a lot of women, there is no option to leave. But in your case and in a lot of other cases, more common than not, some mothers decide to leave. And do you think at that point they're maybe not ready for adulthood and the responsibilities that come with it?
Well, my thought process with that is, and this is a principle that I've been carrying throughout my life for a long time and even now, it may be permissible, but is it a benefit? So it's permissible for you to get up and leave. Yeah. It's permissible. You can do that on choice. You can do that, on force or whatever the case may be. But is it a benefit? And not only is it a benefit to the children, but is it a benefit to you? Because you can train up a child and train them to go in the direction that you think that they're going to go in. But the one thing that you can't give them is wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to train up your children with the hope that they would get to a place in adulthood where they can make reasonable decisions. Because those reasonable decisions, believe it or not, may include you. Because in including you, what that means is you have, or I, or someone else, have reached a place in life where, the tables have turned and we're 85, 90 years of age, and somebody has to make decisions for us. Okay? And, if in fact that, that the child, does not understand that everything's permissible, but is it a benefit? Or, certain things are permissible, but to ask themselves, is it a benefit? Who is it benefiting?
Right.
And if you can't, use logical wisdom to answer that question, then the chances are you should not be doing it.
Right. Right. Right.
So, yeah, you can get up and leave and all of those types of things. And, you can be the distant parent and, the distant father, mother, uncle, whatever the case may be, grandfather, grandmother. You can be that. But at the end of the day, it still comes back to be, is it a benefit?
Right.
Is it a benefit? And when you talk about, having, something to say, and, as relates to somebody's life, you have to show yourself strong and worthy enough to, add value to that person's life.
Right.
So you can go ahead, go do your thing, go to the clubs, and, party hardy, as they say, dance like it's 1999, if that's what you choose to do.
Right.
But at the end of the day, is it a benefit?
Right.
And I found that, where my children are concerned, that it was a benefit for me because I believe till this day that my life is still reaping a harvest because I did stay. Because I did, step up to the plate and to do what I did.
Absolutely.
I believe that's one of the reasons why I am where I am.
Absolutely. I believe that. When you do the right thing, God sees it. Like my mom told me all the time when I was little, God sees all things. And I truly believe that. And as a little kid, I thought that, I recognized that, and I seen that as an adult. I think it's up, you talk about your grandparents and some of the things that they told you on a lot of different shows. I talk about, my mom and grandparents and whoever just poured into me and into my childhood, because I had amazing people that poured into my childhood. I had people around me that loved me, people around me that cared, and whether it was family, whether it was teachers. My 5th grade teacher, as I shared with you before, I still talk to this day. A lot of different teachers. So I think it's important to have people in your life to pour into your children so they are prepared for adulthood. Although parents can't teach them everything, I think it's up to the parents to give them the tools that they need to succeed in life. And it's not as easy for some to transition into adulthood from childhood, because some children aren't as ready as they think they are. Like you said, when you were young, you said, I can't wait till I leave. I can't wait till 18. I never was one to say that, because I was in college when I left, and then when I was 20, I got married. So my life was like boom, 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 because I worked, I went to school, and I didn't even think about it. But I know a lot of children say that. Oh, I can't wait until I'm 18. And also, I think that's because a lot of people don't like to follow rules either. They want to do their own thing. And then when you start wanting to do your own thing, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
I was certainly that person who wanted to do his own thing, wanted to make up his own rules and all of that sort of thing. But the one thing I did know, because of the wisdom that came with my grandparents and my grandfather in particular, you might be able to make up your own rules, but you're going to have to find somewhere else to do it.
Right. And that's
I would stay out, 2 or 3 nights at a time, my grandfather stopped it and said, hey, listen, you got somewhere to stay one night, you got somewhere to stay every night.
Right. But that sounds like a...
thing, because a man is not going to allow a child, from where I come from.
Right.
A man is not going to allow a child to run up and down the street and all sorts of things while he get up and go to work every day.
Right.
That's not going to work like that.
And if you're raised by
stop to that type of behavior.
Right, and if you're raised by, and this is no disrespect to any other culture or race, but if you're raised by a black parent or a black grandparent, you're gonna do something. Like you're not gonna not follow the rules. You're not gonna make up your own rules. And like you said, if that person can get up and do something, then you can get up. And I think that's a black response. If I'm going to work, you going to work.
It's you can. As my grandfather used to say, you can do what you want to do when it's yours.
Right.
And when somebody else got to go shred the corn, it's a different situation.
Right. But I think with men, it would be, and I've never been a man, so I'm just going by what I think. But and you correct me if I'm wrong. But with men, I think men have more of a responsibility because they are the fathers, they are the leaders, they are heading the households. And I think with men, adulthood is important because they are someone's father. They are leading someone. And not to say women is not important, but you get what I'm saying?
I do. Well, I tell you what, it is so that, we are all those things that you mentioned, but there comes a time where a man is concerned, in particular when he has children, or put it this way, when he has daughters, it's one thing. Mm-hmm. When he has sons, it's another thing. Mm-hmm. When you have daughters, as a man, you get to a place where you cannot do any more for them because you cannot teach them how to be a lady because you're not that. Mm-hmm. Which is one of the reasons why I sort of throw the comment up in the air when I hear ladies say, I'm the father and the mother. No, you're not.
No.
Not when it comes to boys, you're not.
No, I agree.
Because there are certain things about a young man growing into a man that a lady cannot give him.
I agree.
So whenever I would hear, ladies say, well, I'm his mother and his father, I would instantly say, no, you're not.
Right.
And in fact, when he's about 25, let's see how much of mommy and daddy you really are when he's about 25.
But I think...
And he has to look outside of you in order to get the answers that he needs in order to make it to 35.
But I think it goes back... I think it goes back to what we were talking about. A woman wouldn't have to say that if a man transitioned from childhood to adulthood. And sometimes when you have a child, it has to speed up. So I think some women wouldn't say that if they had a man there tending to his responsibilities as a father. So I think women say that just out of the sense of I'm the only one present. But I totally agree with you. I don't think a woman can ever be a father.
That is correct. And I do get that she would say that, because she's the only one that, that's doing what she do. And that is, very well appreciated. I'm older to certain that, for those under the sound of our voice, if you fall into that light. But one thing is for certain, that young man that you're raising, he's going to become an adult. Mm-hmm. And when he becomes an adult, there are going to be certain things that he's not going to look to mama for.
Right.
So he's going to be looking outside of mama to get those answers because he cannot get them from mama.
Right.
And he's going to recognize that.
Right.
And it's the vice versa, the same with girls.
Right.
Girls grow up and, there are certain things that they can't get from daddy because daddy, does not support the same thing that they support.
Right.
He may be in favor of those things if they are good, but he don't support them because he's not a woman, so he cannot give in that light.
Right.
So he becomes a coach, is what he becomes.
Right.
He becomes a coach, and, he answers the bell when they call him.
Right.
He becomes a coach in that regard is really what he does when you have daughters, because it certainly will get to a place where they're no longer little girls anymore. You don't have to take them to ballet and all of that sort of thing.
Right.
You're going to have to give up that right. And you have to give up without letting letting your ego be your guide.
Right.
And that's my experience was with my daughters in that regard. There came a point where I had to turn them over. Because there's certain things that as a man I knew that I couldn't give them, and there wasn't no shame that I couldn't give them. My ego had nothing to do with it. I just knew that I couldn't give them. Why? Because I received counsel as it relates to it.
Right, absolutely.